going on?
What's going on?
Tony.
That was the abbreviated version. I feel like the thing cut short.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally started it. Listen, we're back, fam. Okay, we're a little rusty on the controls, but we're back. So, Nick, what's new, man? What have you been doing?
Oh, a whole lot of nothing. Nursing contract in Cleveland. I got a PRN job up there, but I try to keep time away just in case we do the show. We had just the group in general had a lot going on. Of course, John had his honeymoon. Tony's having a baby, which will be coming here shortly. How long is that going to be, Tony?
A week from today.
A week from today.
Yes.
So
Let's do it.
he's busy building nurseries and stuff, putting cribs together and shit like that. So, like I said, John had a honeymoon, and then we just kind of figured wait after the 4th, get everything
All right,
rolling.
Nick, enough of the excuses. Listen, guys, we've been lazy. We just haven't had the time.
I feel like,
But
we
it's the
owe them
off season,
an explanation.
and there's nothing going on in the off season. So if you didn't see us, you didn't miss anything. There's really not much going on since we took our hiatus, man. What's happened? I think my man over here.
Who's that?
Jokic,
Oh, Nikola Jokic.
your league MVP and champion. Okay. Hello.
What are you guys' thoughts on that? What are you guys' thoughts on the NBA Finals?
Well, he wasn't league MVP this year,
He wasn't.
but he was a champion. No, Joel Embiid won that.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
but-
My bad.
I will say he probably
Did he
should have
get,
won
did
it.
he get Finals MVP?
Should have won it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Let's
Amazing
recap that.
final.
I'll cut that back. I'll edit that out. And then you got your Finals MVP, Nikola Jokic, guys, right here. Do you guys know that I ordered this last season and never received it? I never received it.
When did
Okay.
you get it?
I got it about a week before the finals. And it's crispy, dude. This is a beauty, bro. The box is like it's like a PSA graded 10 box. It's great. How'd you feel about the finals?
Those might be worth something.
It's July 11th, and we're just not talking about the NBA Finals. We've had a
We've been
draft
waiting for a while.
already. Summer
We didn't
league
get to-
has started.
We haven't spoken to you about any of it.
We're
I think
not
Nick and I
going to
touched on
talk
it a little
long
bit.
about it. Just what's your quick thoughts? It happened exactly as I thought it would. I figured the Heat would probably win one, and then the Nuggets were just a far superior team. I don't think the Heat have a ton of talent on their team. They might here shortly, but as of right now, I don't think they have a lot of talent on their team.
What's up, B? We see you, bro. We missed you too, man. Scott, good to see you, brother. It's not a big deal. We don't have to talk about the finals, man. We just haven't talked to you, Tony, since, bro. And we never really got to have your thoughts, but you did, in fact, call one of those series, and the Lakers got swept, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited for football. I don't know what the fuck. I'm just really excited for football. I think they said there's like 59 days left till kickoff. That's really all I care about right now. The summer league stuff is cute and all. A lot of injuries to some big names in summer league. They shut Victor down early after his second game.
Yeah, that bubble wrap. They don't want him anywhere near an injury.
Understood. A lot of crazy free agents. Celtics traded for Kristaps Porzingis. So they're adding Porzingis to Al Horton, Jaylen Brown,
Al Horford.
Jason Tatum. Al Horford, who did I say?
Al Horton.
Al Horton.
I think
Horton
he
was
owns
a who?
I think he owns a bunch of donut shops around the Columbus area.
Who? It's Tim Horton.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that's probably-
yeah. Who do you think? Who do you think won the off season so far in the NBA?
I'm gonna say Celtics. I love what the Celtics did for two reasons. Because I think the addition of Porzingis is going to give them the offensive presence in the middle that they've needed for a long time. Pair him up with Robert Williams, you're going to have a pretty good defensive core in the middle as well. And I've always said this: they need to get rid of Marcus Smart. I know he's a really good defender, but I feel like on offense, he's just not worth the trouble that to have him on your team, because he takes too many freaking shots. He's not supposed to, but yet he thinks he's awesome offensively. So I think you can have a guy like Derek White. He's gonna be able to be that defensive guard that you need, and just let Tatum and Brown run the show.
Yeah, JT, what's up, brother? Miss you, brother. Yeah, go ahead, John. What do you think? Who won off season so far?
I don't know, man. I don't really know if anybody really won anything. I think Phoenix is looking good. I just really don't know that anybody really won anything. The Lakers may have actually done the best out of everyone. Might have been the Lakers, actually. They're pretty much poised for LeBron's exit. They're getting ahead of it. They seem to be getting all their ducks in a row. I'd say they're probably winning it. I'd say the Lakers probably did the best in the draft, at free agency. Lakers.
What about the Chris Paul? What about the Chris Paul to the Warriors?
Means nothing to me. Chris Paul can't stay healthy to save his soul. He's non-existent in the playoffs. He hasn't been since we started the show. Chris Paul is not availability is the best ability, and he does not portray that in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not impressed. I don't think that they needed Chris Paul. I think Dame Lillard should have gone there. I think that would have been the better. If you're going to pick a guy, yes.
I can't imagine.
Actually, Dame wanted to go to the Lakers. He wanted to go to the Warriors. That was one of his destinations.
I can't imagine having a team with Dame and Steph. That would be the worst. That would be the worst defensive backcourt in the history of the NBA, and they both basically do the same thing.
What the hell is the matter with him, dude?
Defensive backcourt.
Since when did a high-powered offense need to worry about defense?
I mean,
when have the Warriors played defense?
Worry about a little bit.
When have the Warriors played defense?
I mean, they've been pretty good defensive team a lot of years.
Skata. I disagree.
John's swearing at me in Greek and everything. I'm just saying, I don't think it makes sense. I think the team that makes the most sense, the team that everyone's talking about, is the Heat. I think you put Lillard on the Heat, that's a championship team. You have Jimmy Butler.
Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia makes a lot of sense.
I think Philadelphia makes a ton of sense too. Those are the two teams that make the most sense to me. I also don't remember, like, this kind of veering off topic a little bit, but Kyrie. Everyone's like, Kyrie's going back to Dallas. I almost don't even remember Kyrie on Dallas. Like that was a non-eventful stint.
You didn't even pay attention to half the regular season. I don't expect you to know.
I'm just saying that was a non-eventful stint in Kyrie's career.
Let's talk about let's get this show on the rails. All right, listen. There is a problem looming in Portland, okay, with Dame Lillard specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Now the team wants to do right by Lillard, and they want compensation. Now, Lillard wants to go to the Heat, but what the Heat are offering Portland, they're not impressed. So tell me, both of you, Tony, you go first. Give me your opinion on the Dame Lillard situation with Portland. What should they do? And is the Heat the right destination for him?
Listen, anytime someone asks for a trade, people automatically are like, "Oh, we got to trade this motherfucker." You don't trade him until you find a good offer. There's no rush to get this kid off your team. No rush whatsoever. You find the right team, the right suitor, and get as much as you possibly can for this guy. And you know what? I know Dame is going to want to play. Trade me. He's probably saying, trade me in the next month or so. Don't listen to that. Find the right suitor and trade him when the time's right and the offer's right. Don't. There's no rush on this. If you're Portland, now if you're Dame, obviously you want to get to your new destination. You want to get your housing set up, your get comfortable with the team, practice with the team. But if you're Portland, there's absolutely no rush whatsoever, right?
No, I think Portland mismanaged his entire career. I don't think that they ever truly built a team around Dame. I don't think they ever put themselves in a position to really compete. They were never competitive, and even when they were, it was early on, and they fluttered. It's Portland to me. Just, and you know what though, there were times in Dame's career early on, a few years back, where he said, "I don't even need to win a championship." I think he said he just pay me. You know what I mean? Pay me. He wasn't really out for the accolades and in the championship stuff. But I think now when he's looking back at his career, he's thinking to himself, you know what? I made a ton of money. Bro, I made a fuck ton of money in the NBA. And the one thing I don't have is a championship. And this is not a time. 2023-2024 season is not the time to build a team around Dame Lillard. Move this dude. And I don't agree that he needs to go where he wants to go. The team owns your rights. They're going to put you in a position, or they're going to try to put you in a position that's best for you, but also best for the return. They shouldn't make it all about where Dame wants to go. Okay? In the grand scheme of things, frankly, they don't give a fuck where you want to go. They're going to send you where they believe would be best for you and where they're going to get the best return. And that's business. And I think that a lot of fans are going to have a different view on that. I think a lot of folks are going to say, you know what? Dame did this, Dame did that. The organization should do whatever he wants. It doesn't work that way. Business is not, if everything worked that way, Jesus Christ, just imagine where we'd be. But I do believe that Portland mismanaged his entire career there. So now they want all this in return. Folks, you guys should have been trying to build a team around him all along. And what did you give him? McCollum? That's it? Who has he had? I think it's time to move him and get the best. What's up, Mariah? Good to see you, fam. JT, good to see you, bro. I think it's time to move on. Get the best. Get a haul of picks. Get a haul of picks. Get a few pieces. But I don't expect anything extraordinary, because I think where'd they say was best? Boston, the Knicks,
the Heat, the Sixers.
Oh, the Sixers. That's what it was.
Possibly
it was the Sixers and Boston. I think those were the two best situations.
Boston's not going to go after Lillard.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't whether or not they were going after him. The media had said that Boston was a good place for him. The two teams were Boston and Philly.
I don't think Boston would be a good place for him at all.
Let me ask you this, John. John, you like Lillard, right?
I like him.
Would you give up Mobley and Garland?
No.
And maybe a future pick for Lillard?
No way. No. Dude, they have I would never, because we are building a young squad and we are trying to do good by them. So Portland now it's hindsight. Like they should have done better. They should have done better. But I wouldn't give up anybody for Dame. I'm not giving up any of my young players. He's like 32 or 34 years old.
I mean, listen, Dame is still among the top 8 players in the league. And he's going to be that for at least probably the next 2 to 3 years. So you're not
He's hurt a lot.
What's that?
He's hurt a lot.
He's really not that hurt. I mean, he's not hurt more than most people in the NBA. Played a full season last year. You're including like the hurt time when they shut him down. He could definitely play at the end of the year, but they shut him down because their team was shitty. Here's the thing. Early on, I love Dame Lillard, my favorite player. Early on in his career, Paul Allen was the owner. They had a competitive team with them for a couple years, like 5-6 years. All of a sudden, Paul Allen dies. They get rid of McCollum, which was something that I wanted them to do, but they never really replaced him. They didn't replace him with anyone. And the last couple years, they've done him a tremendous disservice by just drafting young guys. Like, if you're trying to build a team, go out and get somebody. But they refused to do that. They had the number 3 pick in the draft this year, and they just drafted another point guard. Listen, Dame Lillard has done absolutely nothing wrong. First of all, he's not really demanding to be traded any particular place. He's just saying, this is where I would like to go. He kind of knows it's the business. He knows the Trailblazers are going to do what's in their best interest. But he wants to compete. He doesn't need a championship, but he at least wants to be competitive. He doesn't want to be shut down at the end of the year for the last 5-10 games every year. He wants to actually compete for something. So, yeah, he deserves to go somewhere at this point. Go somewhere that's going to try to build something, that's going to try to win, because obviously this team isn't. Paul Allen died 5 years ago, and it's being run by his sister. So his sister is now running the team and really doesn't give a shit about basketball. So they're eventually going to try and sell the team. So they really don't care. They have no skin in the game. And I said this like a year or two ago, honestly. I was like, they don't have any skin in the game. I knew all this shit was going downhill when they traded Josh Hart for nothing. They traded him for nothing and got nothing in return. So Dame Lillard deserves to go somewhere where he can actually compete. I don't think he cares about winning a title, but he would like to compete for one.
There was a debate, a question asked on ESPN, and I think it's in lieu of everyone talking about there's someone setting up a match between like Elon Musk and the face, Mark Zuckerberg, and they were talking about who would you like to see fight. Like, which celebrities would you like to see fight? It could be sports, non-sports related. Just who would you like to see fight each other?
Oh, you're asking me who I would like to see fight each other?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Elon Musk and Zuckerberg. I would like to see them fight.
Yeah, but I wouldn't know who I would want to win in that fight. Like, I hate that.
I would like Zuckerberg to knock his fucking face off.
Yeah, but I hate Zuckerberg too. I would totally like to see that dude get punched in the face and knock the fuck out.
I think Zuckerberg. I think he's actually got a chance to knock his fucking face off. To be honest with you, I think that Zuckerberg takes this one. But if I had to choose, it wouldn't be Zuckerberg and Elon Musk.
Nick said John and Nick.
I love to. I would love to.
I would like to see Trump and Biden.
That is the shittiest. That's the shittiest. That's shit. That's shit.
Two old men duking it out. 2 80-year-olds.
I would like to see Shannon Sharp. I'd like to see Shannon Sharp kick the shit out of Skip Bayless. Yes.
Like
Skip
that's not even a
Bayless,
good.
Shannon
I want
Sharp.
you to think of like a good fight, like a good matchup.
Hey,
Like that would be a
Skip's got one
terrible
coming.
matchup.
Yeah, but he's got it coming.
Have you guys ever like watched? This is kind of like a little off topic, but have you ever guys heard about like Skip Bayless and his brother?
No.
I guess so. His brother is like this really famous chef, Rick Bayless. And I was watching like on Skip Bayless's podcast, and he was talking about it. And apparently, him and his brother have no relationship and have had no relationship ever. Like they lived in the same house, but have no relationship with each other. And
That
I
should
just
tell
find
you.
that kind of odd.
Why?
Like one of them has to be an asshole, and I'm guessing it's Skip Bayless.
Yeah, I guessed right.
No duh.
How do you not have? And he's like, we have nothing in
You're a
common.
genius.
I was like, as I'm listening to this, like I'm like checking out the YouTube comments, and they're like, oh, I totally understand. And then some people are like, you should really get in touch with Rick, and you guys should talk. I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, how do you not have anything to talk with this motherfucker about? This guy owns this guy is one of the most famous chefs in America. I was like, you can't talk to him about that? Like, that's not interesting.
No.
I think I would go with Sylvester Stallone and Ivan Drago.
They've already
Dolph
fought.
Lundgren. Yeah, but that was fake. I want to see a real fight to see if it lives up to the hype.
So you want Sylvester Stallone and Dolph Lundgren, not Rocky Balboa and Ivan Drago.
Yes. And I
I'm
want to
pretty
see them go at it. And I want to see. I think it would be the most anticipated rematch of all time.
I'm pretty sure Dolph Lundgren would fuck him up.
You think?
Listen, Stallone's in really good shape, but you know he's like 5'4". Like he's super short.
Did you watch it, John? Did you end up watching those fights this weekend? You're muted, which doesn't make much sense to me ever.
Good to see you too, Mariah. It's good to see you, fam. We see you out there. Yes, I did. Nick and I were both actually watching while playing darts. We were hanging out with Jay, and we watched the fight. I think some of the undercards were better than the actual main event. The main event was fucking garbage. It was garbage.
Nick said, I get that. My brother's an asshole too. Yes, he is, Nick. Yes, he is. Scott said Jimmy G and John V. That'd be a good one.
That'd be a good one.
That would be a good fight. I would love to do that.
Jimmy G would murder you, John.
Jimmy G would murder you and then look handsome doing it.
Fuck that. I would kick him in the ACL. Fuck that.
He would knock you out and then like smile for the camera and like a little twinkle in his like teeth.
Yeah. He'd kick your ass and steal your girl. That son of a bitch. That handsome son of a bitch.
Yeah, we'll see.
Man, those fights were sick. Those fights, boy, that was probably the best. That was the best card of fights I've ever seen in UFC.
What's your favorite?
I gotta be honest. I don't know anyone that fights in UFC anymore, with the exception of a couple people. But I do like the dude in the main event because he kind of looked like he could be like a brother of mine.
Yeah, he'd fuck you up.
Look, what was your favorite fight on the entire card?
Oh, the favorite was for sure Moreno, the co-main event.
Yeah,
That was unbelievable. Those guys, that was a Mexican war.
bloodbath.
Those dudes, nonstop back and forth. That was like watching a movie. That's how good that fight was. It was like watching a Rocky movie. It was incredible. Incredible. Lawler, in his retirement fight, knocked that dude out in like 40 seconds.
Yeah, we saw that. That was kind of That was kind of that was blah.
I
Do you think
don't
they
know.
should
There
have
was
called
great
the
fights.
fight, the Moreno fight?
Which
Do you think
one?
it should have been called when it was? I know that he wasn't defending himself, but he didn't look like he was. He didn't look like he was out of the fight. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
you're
he
thinking of
jumped
the
right
wrong.
up.
You're thinking of a different fight. Moreno went the distance.
Oh yeah, okay. Then it wasn't the Moreno fight. What fight was that? I'll tell you. Let me see.
The very last fight with Rodriguez and Volkanovski or whatever. Can we bring this dickwad back in, please?
First of all, there is a
Eric Wallace. Hey, long time no see, fellas. What's going on, Eric? How are you, buddy?
There's precedent on how you do that, by the way.
Yeah,
Wait, so it wasn't the Brandon Moreno, Alexander Pantoja? I thought that's the.
Goodbye, motherfucker!
I thought that was the fight that I got him mixed up. Because that was a decision, and that was won by decision. It was the Whitaker Duplessis, maybe. I don't know. One of those fights got called.
The Whitaker fight.
The
Was it
Whitaker.
the Whitaker fight?
Yeah.
No, that dude was beating the living shit out of him. That guy, I think that was a proper stoppage.
No fighter is gonna give up. No fighter is gonna give up by being hit. Like, they'll give up on a tap, like if they're getting submitted, but no fighter is gonna give up because they're getting hit. The moment you stop defending yourself is the moment when they gotta stop it.
Eric Wallace, what's up, my man? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by and supporting the channel. Cool Nick says he'd like to see Trey Lance or Brock Purdy for the starting job. That would be a good fight.
Fight to the finish. Fight to the finish. Whoever wins gets the starting gig.
I'll tell you what, Sam Darnold might have that job wrapped up. Actually, I'm hearing some things about Sam Darnold.
I haven't paid too much.
Anyways, so I got to thinking.
Could there be a three-way battle in San Francisco?
I don't think Brock's even in the battle right now. He's just on the shelf, getting healthy, laying low. I think this is Sam. I think it's going to end up being Sam Darnold's team until he comes back. Maybe even further down the road. Anyways, we'll cross that bridge when we need to. I was watching UFC, and I think I got my get rich quick scam. I'm going to start a new business. Okay, say you're at the bar. Say I'm at the bar, and I'm a little tipsy. Got some drinks in me, and there's a guy that's pissing me off. And maybe I just want to, maybe I want to fight this guy, Nick.
Because he didn't.
We'll say like,
Rock.
we'll say use that as an example. Say I go to hit the rock and the guy doesn't hit the rock, and I get very pissed off. The first thing I look at when you're going to fight an individual is their ears. You look at their ears to see if they have cauliflower ear or not. If you got cauliflower ear, automatically not fighting. No fight whatsoever. In fact, I'll apologize. I'll buy you a drink. So here's my business. Fake cauliflower ears.
So you're going to wear them?
Yeah.
As a
gonna sell
deterrent,
'em.
so people wouldn't fight you.
All right. So what's going to happen when you are wearing your fake ones and you meet up with somebody that's got some real ones and he wants to challenge? Then what? He's like,
Yeah,
yo, this guy's got cauliflower ear. I got cauliflower ear. He could be wearing the fake ones that Tony discovered and got rich on. And I actually think that it's just going to end up getting everybody fucking murdered.
Oddly, John makes a valid point. What if there's that one guy that does actually have cauliflower ear, and he's had a couple beers, and he wants to fight, so he's like, who's the toughest dude here? That dude. He's got the cauliflower ear, just like me.
Right.
No.
Right.
No, you guys are thinking about this all wrong. Yeah, you rip off the ear at that point, and you say, listen.
What the fuck?
This was a fake cauliflower ear.
Dude. Oh shit! Tony's gonna get the shit kicked out of him. This is gonna go bad. This is gonna go really bad.
No, listen. You guys want me to sign you? Do I need to do a Shark Tank pitch on this?
Yes,
I'll
I
put
do.
together a business plan and I'll bring it to our next show. Maybe I could get JT Campbell. I'm sure he'll invest in me. Scott, he seems like a guy that would be interested in the cauliflower ear. Nick, his brother Nick, he needs a cauliflower ear if he ever runs past that one guy again. What's his name?
George Jose Ortiz or something like that.
Jose Ortiz. You can throw one of them cauliflower ears on real quick. I think it's genius. But anyways, let's move on.
So yeah, we're very close to actually having some type of football, and I can't wait. I love summer, but I need football. Like, this is the point of the year where I'm starting to get the itch. Any news on your guys' teams at all?
Is that really a question? Are you asking me that fucking question, you imbecile?
Yeah,
You're asking me
yeah.
if there's any fucking news on my team?
What's the state of your team? The state of the union?
Same as it's always been. It's quarterback fucking controversy, and it's bullshit. And we'll save it till the end because I don't want to talk about it. I can't stand it. I'm so sick of quarterback talk. I'm ready to fucking lose it.
Is there any other news in San Francisco ever than the quarterback talk?
No, that's the problem. That's the
only
problem.
news? I don't know. I feel like, you know, like they're still talking about D-Hop to the Browns. I feel like
no. Relax. D-Hop said he's not exactly. He's really not in a hurry till after camp. He hasn't made a decision yet, and he's not going to make a decision. I don't blame him. He might as well wait because somebody's going to go down, and he'll be a prime candidate, and he'll end up getting more than what he's worth.
True.
It's smart. It's smart.
Smart. You don't got to go through camp. You kind of just chill.
We'll see how it goes. I don't know that it's going to play out in his favor anyway. We'll see. We'll see.
There was a top 5. Some guy on ESPN gave his top 5 quarterbacks in the league. 5 was Aaron Rodgers. 4 was I think Justin Herbert. 3 was Lamar Jackson. 2 was Patrick Mahomes. And number 1 was Josh Allen. And he was like,
fucked up list.
That's such a fucked up list. Like, I was listening to this guy and like he was so like hypocritical of what he was just saying for each quarterback. Like, yeah, okay, so Patrick Mahomes, okay, so you won a Super Bowl. You won 2 Super Bowls, but you got to realize that was with one offensive coordinator, the best offensive coordinator in the entire league. And let's see what he's got without this offensive coordinator. I'm like, what? He's like, they were winning before he even got there. They won their division, and they won all this before he even got there. Yeah, he took them over the top, but let's see what he does without this offensive coordinator. I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about?
Just look at the short period of time where Mahomes was hurt that a couple years back and see how good they did. And then how good they were when he came back. Like, I mean, that's just an absolute ridiculous statement. I think that list was a fucked up list. First of all, Mahomes is number 1. I don't think most people, I think if you ask 9 out of 10 people, they're going to say Patrick Mahomes is number 1. I will say I think Josh Allen's number 2. No, I think he is. Like the Bills don't have as much talent as everyone thinks they do. They have no run game, and they have one really good receiver, Gabe Davis. I thought he was going to be really good this past year. Turned out Gabe Davis is just a guy. You could probably replace him with like 40 other receivers in the league. Dawson Knox, I mean, he's a decent tight end, but I don't think he's among the elite. But somehow Josh Allen gets it done without them. A lot of people have Burrow number 3. And I am looking at a list, just so you know. Burrow's number 3 here. I disagree with that. I disagree with Burrow at number 3. Burrow to me is a slightly better Eli Manning. He plays good. He's a slightly better Eli Manning, Joe Flacco type player. He plays good when it counts, and I will give him that. But I don't think he's a fringe elite. He's a fringe elite quarterback. If you're going to put him anywhere, I'd put him at like 5 if he's going to make that list. But I don't have him at 3. The 2 guys that really get me are Aaron Rodgers and Herbert. So Herbert always puts up pretty decent numbers, but he's not done anything, and he's been in the league for 3 years. So I mean, at some point in time, you're going to have to do something. Everyone picks them to like win their division every year, and they never do. And they made the playoffs last year, and they had a historic collapse. So I have umbrage with Herbert at that position. And then Aaron Rodgers is another one that gets me. I get it. Hall of Famer. But last year he was pretty bad. I had him on my fantasy team.
Who did he have?
I don't care who he has. He had receivers. He's done it. He's done it with receivers.
Herbert?
Receivers before.
Who are you talking about right now?
Rogers.
Like, okay, he didn't.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and defend the guy, but I'm going to tell you, he really didn't have much to throw to.
But he was bad last year. He wasn't even like.
He also was injured. He hurt his hand, I thought, or his finger, or some shit.
Well, if we're gonna give people those excuses, then you got to give everyone those excuses. You can't just give them Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, Nick, I don't understand what you're talking about. You're telling me that Dawson Knox isn't good. He's approaching his 3rd year.
Yeah,
but
it's
supposed to be his best year yet.
Josh Allen gets it done with a lack of talent.
Josh Allen he's used wrong, bro. He's used as their running back. Like, I don't think that you're going to see the same Buffalo Bills team this season. I think you're going to see a lot less of him running between the tackles, and I think you're going to see a run game because they have to establish it. It cannot be a one-dimensional football team this year. They just can't.
I think this will be the last year that you hear of a top 5 quarterback list and it doesn't consist of Trevor Lawrence. I think from here on out, throughout his career, from this season on, you will hear Trevor Lawrence in that top 5 category.
I would say I might put him top 5 right now. I might give Burrow the nod at 4 and put Trevor Lawrence in at 5.
Who was 3?
3 was who did I have for 3? I had Mahomes, Allen,
Herbert?
No, I didn't have Herbert. Herbert's not in my top 5. I take that back. Burrow might be 3. I'm tempted to put Watson in there. But I'm not going to put him in there till he does. Till he does what he's.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Don't even fucking bother putting him on any list.
Because I think his body of work and the situation that he was in, I think he deserves it. But I won't put him in there just because I want to see him do it before I put him in there. because he was pretty bad. He wasn't as bad as everyone says he is, but he was pretty bad last time we saw him. Who? Deshaun.
Oh God, dude, he isn't even worth fucking talking about. All right, cool, Nick.
He's probably going to be one of the best quarterbacks this year, John.
Yeah, okay, Nick. Okay. Burrow is good, but he throws up a lot of 50-50 balls that his receivers catch. I mean, listen, they have the best receiving core in football. And I don't have a problem with that. I mean, he puts up a ball that's catchable, and that's kind of their job. So I really don't even have a problem with them doing that. I actually commend it. I actually wanted to see a lot. I think there's a lot of receivers that should be going up for 50-50 balls. I think there should be a lot more of it. And I don't think we see enough of it. And we do see a lot of it from Cincinnati. Now, here's the thing about those stats, Nick. Herbert has thrown 94 touchdowns.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And Burrow has thrown 82.
Okay.
Herbert's got 14,000 yards in the air and Burrow has 11,000. So are you saying that you don't have Herbert ahead of Burrow?
No, absolutely not. Why would I have Herbert ahead of Burrow?
Because I think his body of work I think that the fact that Cincinnati made it to the Super Bowl is I think their receiving core is top of the league, but I don't think that they're a dominant team in football. I really don't.
I don't, but they play very well when it counts. I will say that.
I mean, they should.
The Browns beat them consistently, so they can be beat by. And the Browns, the last couple of years, have not been dominant teams. So I mean, they can get beat by lesser teams, but they can also beat the Chiefs. Like they can beat the best teams. Here's the thing. There's not a lot of top tier quarterbacks now that when I'm really looking at this list, because because once you get past Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, like Burrow, I'm not as high as most people are on him. Herbert, I'm not as high as most people are on him. Aaron Rodgers, like he had a shitty year last year, and he had a full off season. Everyone talks about how bad Deshaun was. Aaron Rodgers had a full off season to be able to mesh with these guys and just didn't. Like Deshaun came in cold, completely cold, not practicing with the team at all, and pretty much played just as good as Aaron Rodgers did, honestly. Lamar Jackson, I've always been kind of Lamar Jackson has a high floor but a low ceiling. That's what he is to me. Jalen Hurts, I believe he's a system quarterback. You could put him in there because he is good at running his system, but he's kind of like Lamar, in my opinion. Trevor Lawrence, I believe, I'm with Tony. Trevor Lawrence kind of broke out last year, but you're not going to look at Trevor Lawrence as anything but a top 5 quarterback from here on out. Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. Dak Prescott's Dak Prescott. And then after that, it gets very, with the exception of possibly Deshaun and Stafford. Maybe Stafford can get back to.
Will you stop putting Deshaun Watson in the conversation?
I mean,
he hasn't done a fucking thing to deserve a goddamn thing. I mean, zero. You're putting him in conversation that his name does not belong. Deshaun Watson has done zero.
He's had multiple years where he's been MVP caliber.
I don't give a fuck. That doesn't mean anything. When he's MVP, we'll talk about it.
But after that,
MVP caliber, you could say that about a lot of quarterbacks, Nick.
You could
say that a lot of quarterbacks are MVP caliber. That doesn't mean. I just don't want to hear Deshaun Watson's name in this list at all because he's done zero.
That's why
to be involved in this discussion.
That's why I'm leaving him out. But when he starts balling the fuck out, you're going to hear a lot of his name.
Yeah, that guy will have a more successful career in your hand than your boy Watson. Hands down. I got videos of you screaming Super Bowl in 2021 and in 2022.
So I thought, I'm not gonna lie, I thought they had a good enough team, but here's the thing. I also.
Well, you've had a good enough team.
No,
you had a
didn't
a
have
good enough team.
We
You
didn't
just
a
have
good
a
enough team.
coach that is not capable of beating any of the coaches in this league, any
So
of the top
last-
caliber. You're
So
not going to
last
beat.
year- So
You're not
last
going to win
year-
your division.
Oh, I believe
Not going to
we're
win your
gonna-
division.
I believe we're going to.
I don't believe it. I don't
Yeah.
believe it.
Our team's stacked. It's absolutely
They've
stacked.
been stacked.
No, they
the Browns
haven't
have been stacked.
We had talent, but we also had gaping holes. We have no gaping holes now. They're all our whole team stacked.
Do you know that there are lots of teams? Do you know that Kansas City won a Super Bowl with rookie corners?
Okay.
Like I don't when you say to me we have holes, you act like there's not a motherfucker in that position. It's just empty. It's just fucking empty.
Defense wasn't phenomenal last year. Their offense carried them.
There is not a team that is perfect at every position.
No, but we had a historically bad defensive line.
No,
No, we had
No.
historically bad.
no.
We had historically bad interior defensive line play, John. Literally, if I lined up at D tackle, would have made no difference because teams were running at will. The Atlanta Falcons ran 15 straight times and beat us.
And let me ask you a question. Is your D-line coach still there?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, we got Jim
Shouldn't be.
Schwartz. We got Jim Schwartz, so he probably
Jim
brings in
Schwartz
his own
brought in
guys.
his own people. Now, this is the only thing, like Deshaun Watson, I have absolutely zero to say about him until he puts some work together on the field. So the only thing that I hang my hat on for Cleveland is that Schwartz is coming in and inheriting a roster that he can do some damage with. I will give you that. Your defense this year could be the best defense in your division.
We now have an elite D line, including the interior.
I'm not.
And we have an
nothing.
elite
No one's elite.
secondary.
No one's elite. No one's elite
Yeah, sure.
until they put that body of work out there. When the Cleveland Browns are in the power rankings, when they are the number 2, number 3 defense in football behind my San Francisco 49ers, we'll
might be
have that
better this
discussion. They're not better.
They might be
They're
better
not
this
better.
year.
They're not better.
They might be.
They're not.
We'll have
good.
we'll have maybe not quite as
They'll
good of
be
a
in the top.
D-line.
They'll be amongst the top 5 defenses in football if Schwartz can get them rolling. If Schwartz can't do it, then no one can, and it's a total fucking curse. Because he's inheriting
Schwartz
a
is
lot
gonna
of
do-
talent.
Schwartz
There's
is gonna
been a
do
lot
good.
of talent in Cleveland. There's been a lot of talent since 2019, and nothing's happened.
No,
Nothing.
There's been talent, John.
Teams have
But
done
there's
more
been
with the
gaping
same
holes.
talent. Teams have
John,
done more with the
Why was
same
your
talent.
team shitty in 2019?
My team went to the Super Bowl in 2019.
Okay, no, your team went to the Super Bowl they went to the Super Bowl in February of 2019, correct?
Stupid questions are not going to get stupid ansers. I'm giving you
When did your
fact.
team-
2019.
What season
ask-
did your team? What season did your
2019.
team? There was a 2019-2020 season.
Hey, Chiefs. Hey, Chief fans. The guys that actually stole that one from us. What year did you win the Super Bowl? 2019. It was the 2019 season, 2020 Super Bowl. Fine. It was the 2019 season, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why were you guys shitty? Why were you guys shitty the next year? You guys had pretty much the same team back.
2020 was shit. That was a bad year.
Why? You guys had the same
Everything.
team.
I mean,
You guys had injuries.
some, but nothing. It was a fucked up season. 2020 was a fucked up season, but 2021 we were right back in the NFC Championship again.
Yeah, sure.
Right back. in it.
2020, John, is when you keep saying that you had $180 million on IR.
Yes, you're right. You're right. That's right. That COVID year, which I'm not even going to use COVID. I won't even say that COVID was the end of it. We just had about $90 million in IR. We had a lot of injuries in 2020.
Well,
it was a fucked up season.
Well, we went to the AFC champion. We didn't go to the AFC championship game. We went to the round before the AFC championship game against the Chiefs the next year. We went that year, the 2020.
And you couldn't even beat fucking Henny.
Whatever it is.
You had Mahomes off the field. Any fucking team
had just as
takes
much,
advantage of that opportunity and wins that game.
$100 million in injuries. And then the next year, Joe.
You don't even have anybody. You don't even have anybody worth that kind of money.
They don't need D tackles to play. You know, and so if we had a guy of Trent Richardson's caliber in the middle of that line, we would have been a playoff team last year. But the team was so bad and Joe was so terrible.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me
ask you a question. When are you going to stop making excuses and just start speaking facts? Do you know how many points your team averaged in these seasons? You weren't putting up fucking touchdowns, bro. What was the average score? You guys were fucking lousy.
Our team scored a decent amount of points last year.
You couldn't even beat fucking Henny. Couldn't even get him all. You couldn't even beat that Chiefs team that season. You had that game. That was you. You fucking folded Patrick Mahomes like a fucking lawn chair, and he was off the field, out of the game. You had an entire 2 quarters of football, and you could not win.
Our offense was a good offense that year, John.
Your offense was not a good offense that year because you would have won and knocked them out.
You know, a lot of teams fall to the Chiefs, John.
Then say that. Don't make up all this fucking bullshit.
I've never made an excuse for losing to the Chiefs. I don't think it's a bad thing to lose to the Chiefs. They're a great team. What I'm saying is there are some reasons why you don't win the Super Bowl. There are some reasons why you fall in expectations. But
if you're going to tell me that you had a good offense, if you're going to tell me that you had a good offense, then beat the Chiefs that day. And it's not a moot point. Beat the Chiefs that day.
The Chiefs went to the Super Bowl that year, John.
You could have fucking stopped that. The Browns could have knocked Kansas City out of contention. And you couldn't.
But not many teams stopped the Chiefs from going to the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah,
any fucking team, any other team.
John, do you realize we were
knocks them off that day?
When Chad Henne came in, you realize we were losing at that point, right?
I don't think you were losing by much at all.
We weren't up and we blew it to Chad Henne.
Dude, you had 2 quarters of football.
We were losing at that point, though. We had
Let me ask you guys. Nick, when do you think? Can you tell me the last time? So you think the Browns are going to win the division this year?
Yes.
Do you know when the last time they won the division was?
Probably 88.
1989.
89? Yeah. Was off by a year.
I was 7. And now I'm 40. And there's only 4 teams in the division, bro.
It's been a long road of misery.
That's insane. That's 33 years of not winning the division.
Yes.
That means you can't be the top of 4 teams.
Yes.
And this is the year?
Yeah, why wouldn't it be? Listen, you're shitty till you're good.
The Bengals are awesome.
I don't think the Bengals are awesome, though. I think they're just a well-run team that plays.
Do you know that can you ever just set your pride aside and give even a team in your division, give them some credit where credit's due. They've been better than you.
I give them credit. I gave them more credit
because you beat them.
Credit.
Just because you beat them doesn't mean that they don't deserve credit. They're a better ball club, dude. They're better.
I say they're a better run team. As of yet, they're a better run team. But
that's half of the battle of winning, right?
But here's the thing about
know that.
Here's the thing
having
about
a shitty organization, a shitty front office, having an owner that doesn't give a fuck. You understand that that's a
You're
problem,
a shitty
right?
organization until you're not a shitty organization. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, well, like we said, 1989, 2023, bruh.
So,
You've been a shitty organization for that long.
So here's the thing. The Cincinnati Bengals
Shut up.
don't scare me. They just don't scare me. Like, there are teams that frighten me. The Kansas City Chiefs frighten me a little bit. You know, the last couple years, Buffalo Bills frighten me a little bit. There's not many other teams. You know, the San Francisco 49ers might frighten me a little bit because of how good their defense usually is. But the Cincinnati Bengals
Nick,
aren't a team that frighten me.
listen. You should be afraid of the Cincinnati Bengals because they have the best receiving core in football. They also have one of the top 3 quarterbacks in football. You should be afraid. San Francisco has many skill positions. You should be afraid of the offense. I don't give a fuck who the quarterback is. I don't care. Your defense, you're calling a defense elite, and they have a new defensive coordinator. They haven't established an identity yet. You don't even know what the fuck their identity is. So you can't tell me that your defense is elite until they establish an identity, and you're not going to know who that team is until like week 6, week 7. That's when you'll establish an identity.
We know what their identity is going to be. It's going to be Jim Schwartz's identity. His identity's been everywhere he's gone.
No.
He's done the same thing.
No.
You know he's going to put tons of pressure.
No.
Tons of pressure on the quarterbacks.
No.
He's
that's
never
not how identities are established. The team, the players establish the identity.
He's never had
They execute the defense. They establish the identity. It doesn't matter who the fuck your defensive coordinator is.
The talent on the Browns were fine. It's just Joe Woods was so terrible of a defensive coordinator.
I'll give you that because Joe Woods was not a defensive coordinator. He was a secondary. He was a DB's coach.
He should have been fired a long time ago.
He was promoted. The Browns. That's what I'm talking about. You got this fucking organization. You've got this organization that took a DB's coach and made him a defensive coordinator. And not only did you make a DB's coach a defensive coordinator, but you are an organization that has been losing year after year after year, just losing. So you think that it's a good idea to take Joe Woods as your fucking defensive coordinator and turn your defense around every year at the podium? The Browns we're going to turn this around. We're going to turn this season around. It's been fucking 30 years. And you still haven't done a shitty thing since you said you would. It's just not enough. The math is not mathing, bro.
Here's the thing. The reason why Joe Woods was even the defensive coordinator last year is because the previous couple years, the Browns defense was actually fairly decent. But they had, a couple of those years they had Trent Richardson, who was a pretty good defensive tackle. They had Larry Ogunjobi the year before that, and those guys were fine. They managed to strike a little bit of gold or maybe strike silver with Malik McDowell the year before, and he was a serviceable defensive tackle. But they kept being stingy on the position. They felt the position wasn't important, like a moron would, because you got to stop the run. So they thought that they could get away with Jordan Elliott and Togiai and Brian as their defensive tackles. It was historically bad. Those three.
Nick, I can't buy historically bad. I'm not buying historically bad. I'm not buying historically bad.
Chargers were the worst running team in the league, and you know what they said? We're coming to Cleveland. You know what we're going to do? We're going to run the ball. And freaking Austin Eckler had 200 yards rushing against us.
But you're not listening to me, dude. It's coaching. That has been the problem in Cleveland from the start.
That's why we're talking about Joe Woods.
I'm not. No. Okay. Yes. Joe Woods.
Coach.
Joe Woods would have never have been my choice if tomorrow I walked into the front office and said, we got to turn this fucking franchise around. I'm going after Joe Woods. I would expect the closest motherfucker to me to slap me across my fucking lips
John,
just for
when Joe
saying
Woods-
that.
When Joe Woods was hired, he was coming from a good San Francisco 49ers team, and he was not a defensive coordinator, but he was right under that. He was a position coach. That's how defensive coordinators get hired. Okay? You guys didn't when you guys lost Saleh, you guys didn't say, "Hey, you know what? We're going to go out and get a big name coach." You guys were like, "No, we're going to promote D'Amico Ryans."
If my team was rebuilding, if the Browns were rebuilding and you wanted to pull in Joe Woods, then pull in Joe Woods, bro. But you're not rebuilding. You had a competitive roster. You had a competitive roster since 2019. You've had a great roster. Fucking garbage
We had a great roster. So we had a good roster in 2020. We had a good roster in 2020. We had a good roster in 2021. We just got the injury bug. That's what killed us that year. We did not have a good roster in 2022. We had talent. There was.
I disagree with you.
There were sprinkles of talent, but when you have that big of a hole, where the opposing team knows
gaping hole, no one's there. It's there's no one there.
Miles Garrett
Miles
Garrett had 16 sacks. Miles Garrett had 16 sacks. You know how much the rest of the defensive line had? A total of 3.
It's garbage coaching. And here's the thing, dude. Joe Woods isn't the fucking defensive lineman coach. That's not his job.
He's a coordinator. He's
not the lineman's coach.
They run his team. In the offseason, he says, "Hey, we need to get these guys."
No.
Yes,
it doesn't work like that.
That's his job. He obviously said, "Hey, you know what? We could do without interior defensive linemen. We don't need D tackles. We're going to focus on the secondary. We're going to play a bend but don't break type of defense." That's what Joe Woods wanted to do. We know it. He got away with it the first 2 years, couldn't get away with it the second 2 years. You can only get lucky a couple times. And then after that, you're screwed.
Yes. Is it Joe Woods' scheme? Sure. But it's not his job to coach up his defensive linemen.
John, he's the CEO.
He has someone.
He's the CEO of that defense.
Nick, okay? Dude, I get it. Listen, I get it.
That's his job.
But that's not. It's his job to get production out of his coaches.
His job, what's his job?
It's his job to get production out of his coaching staff. That's his job, to oversee those coaches and to maximize whatever it is that they're doing out of their players. But that's his job.
Well, then what happens if the defensive line coach sucks?
Then your defensive line sucks.
Is Joe Woods off the hook?
No, I didn't say he was off.
Ultimate responsibility to make sure the defense players play well.
It's Joe Woods' job to make sure said defensive line coach is getting the maximum production out of his players. And if that said coach sucks, then your D-line sucks. Which means you're just floating around on talent of Myles Garrett because you haven't maximized or developed any of the guys on your D-line. Yeah. That falls on said coach.
Okay. But when your said coach doesn't do his job, who then does it fall on?
Okay, Nick, it's Joe Woods' job to make sure that his D-line coach is good.
Okay.
That's it, bro.
And he didn't do his job.
But don't expect Joe Woods to get his hands in the dirt, screaming at Javon Clowney to get better. You need said coach to be fucking good at his job and get production out of his players, meaning develop his linemen. If he's not doing that, then you fire him.
Either way, Joe Woods didn't do his job. Now he's gone. Now we got a guy who's proven to be capable.
Yeah. But I mean, you're calling them elite. So We need to see who the Browns
You
are
got
before
elite
they're
talent.
they're getting the elite tag, bro.
We have bookends right now that combined total got about almost 30 sacks last year. Okay?
Means nothing to me.
One
If there's
guy
an
wasn't on our
injury,
team.
if there's an
We also-
injury,
We also
you're right
got another
back
guy
to Miles
who got
Garrett again.
7 sacks. Who as a part-time player,
There's
as a
not depth.
positional edge rusher. We also got one of the best D tackles in the game. Okay, we no longer have a scrub at D tackle. We have the best. We have one of the best D tackles in the game.
And if he gets hurt, then what?
We still have backup though. We still have a guy in Siaki Ika. We still have a guy in Maurice Hurst. These are guys that have been somewhat effective in the NFL. I mean, Siaki Ika is obviously a rookie, but Maurice Hurst has been somewhat effective in the NFL at points in times when he's been healthy.
Yeah, when he's been healthy.
If Tomlinson gets a little banged up, God forbid if he gets injured, that's going to be a big loss. But they have about 4 guys on their interior defensive line that would have been starters last year for this team that they just got.
Izzy, I see you in here, family. I'm really sorry to hear about your pooch, honey. I'm praying for you. I hope everything is okay over there. I haven't seen you in a while. Wishing you all the best. I send my love out to your pooch.
My wife is upstairs with Leo trying to put him to bed, and she was like, "Oh, do you want to watch Daddy's show?" And he was like, "Yeah." So they put the locker room rant on. That lasted about 6 seconds. With Nick's
Oh my God.
F-bombs. With Nick's F-bombs every 2 seconds. She was like, "Yeah, I put your show on. Leo was loving it, but Nick was swearing every 2 seconds. It was incredible."
Did he say was he happy The Rock was on the show?
He said you look like someone else the other day, and it was outlandish. It was like Joe Dirt, like someone that like didn't look anything like you. He was like, "Daddy, look, it's Nick." I'm like, "What Nick are you talking about?" He goes, "Your friend Nick from the show." I was like, "Dude, you don't." I was like, "It's been way too long since we've done a show."
He's like, I thought he had hair.
Yeah, Joe Dirt. It was incredible. What else do we have to cover? Any main topics we got to get to? Did you see that Northwestern stuff with their coach Pat Fitzgerald?
I heard something about that.
2 weeks ago, wasn't he just like slapped on the wrist?
Yeah.
And then he got fired, right? Today, was he fired today?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, do you really want my opinion on hazing? Do you really want
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. This is a sports show. Kind of place to do it.
I mean, I guess the more pressing question is, are you surprised that there's hazing in collegiate sports?
So I don't know.
Surprised.
No, I mean, just answer a question first, and then I'll get to my point. But are you surprised that there is hazing in 2023? Are you surprised?
This day and age, I am extremely surprised that there's still hazing that goes on.
But it's been going on since before we were born.
Yeah, and I get it back then, but like the days we live in now, the cancel culture, the times we're living, video cameras everywhere, cell phone cameras everywhere. I'm surprised people still think that they could get away with this. Like, how many kids are on a football team? Like 80, 90?
Before you trim it down to the 53? Yeah.
Well, you got to think college football. There's like 100 kids on the team. Only so many of them can dress, like 60. But there's like practice squads and all that stuff, and I guess all of this stuff was going on at the practices, like initiation stuff with like gay acts and stuff like that. I just don't know why people think in this day and age you can get away with stuff and someone's not gonna like tell or have you on camera with their cell phone. Like you can't do anything. You can't do anything. So what makes you think you could do that? I don't know.
What is he actually accused of? Because I didn't really get too in deep with the story. I just heard hazing,
Nick,
and racism.
Nick, he listen, the guy was turning a blind eye to hazing.
Right.
I mean, look, I'm not opposed to some good fun in initiation. But in today's age, I'm also not good with you destroying a man's character just to prove that he's either tough or not. I believe that you should be able to have fun and initiate these guys without destroying them and without them wanting to go home and hurt themselves. We're trying to cater and we're trying to get mental health in the forefront and getting people to find and seek that help. We don't need to make matters worse.
But
I'm not surprised that it's happening. And like Tony said, dude, everyone's under a microscope right now. What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you people doing?
But I have to know what it was that he did, because
Nick, it's hazing, dude. What the fuck do you need? What do you need?
Because
what do you need?
Because hazing can be different.
You're humiliating a man's character.
Hazing could be throwing a pie in someone's face or sticking a pie up someone's ass.
Yeah,
and I think it was towards. I think it was towards
levels of severity. Like,
look,
I think it was towards the later.
If you're dumb enough to take a pie and shove it up your ass, then fuck you.
Like,
you know what I mean?
There could be hazing where
fuck you.
There could be hazing. Where
get the fuck out of here. You belong in the fucking circus.
There could be
you don't belong in collegiate sports.
There could be hazing where it's good natured and builds team camaraderie, and there could be hazing where
I got news for you, Nick. The guy that got fired today wasn't team building exercises, okay, guy? It wasn't.
If people get fired for bullshit.
Jesus Christ. Oh shit. I need to know what they're doing. Here, I'll give you the police report.
Was somebody really being harmed, or was somebody being a little bitch? Because it could be one of those two things.
It could be both.
Greg Newsom's from Northwestern. He's a Cleveland Brown, and he came out in like really strong in favor of Pat Fitzgerald. He's like, screw this. I don't even want to be associated with Northwestern anymore. Pat Fitzgerald was a stand-up guy. I have nothing but respect and love for him.
You know what? That's easy coming from a guy who probably wasn't hazed and harassed.
Yeah, he's the one shoving the pie up the asses.
Exactly. He's the one sitting there like, hey, that's the first one. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, let's be very clear here, Nick.
Hey, give him the apple. Give him the apple pie, Johnny.
Let's listen. Let's be very clear, okay? In today's society, everyone is under a microscope. And if you're harassing and hazing a young man to the point where Fitzgerald is getting fired, then it wasn't good. I don't know the specific acts. So get what you're good at is Googling. So figure it out.
Yeah, but
and let us know.
I'm looking at an article and I'm not seeing anything in particular. Nobody's saying exactly what happened. So
that's right.
Well, then I guess it falls right under the column of bullying, right? There's a zero tolerance for bullying in any aspect of life.
But here's the thing.
Zero at your job, zero at Tony. Tony can't fucking have that shit.
No,
he can't have that shit.
There is at my job. Every once in a while, like when we're in the heat of like a code or something, a doctor will yell at a nurse or whoever because they need them to do something they're not doing it quite right. I'm fine with that. That's fine with me. I don't take offense to that. But some nurses like go in the bathroom and cry. Like you have to. You're in college football. You have to be tough. I don't want you if you're not tough. Okay. Now, if there's like a power dynamic thing, and you're really getting, they're really laying it on you thick. Like that's a different story. Like then we have a problem. Then we have a systemic issue. But if it's just like the coaches being like a little rough on you or or
This is
or maybe
this.
the upper class.
I'm not sure that he had anything to do with it. I think it's the fact that he wasn't doing anything about it. You understand? I don't know the entirety about it.
Yeah, and I
don't know, but I do know that there's a zero tolerance for any form of harassment in today's society. So that's essentially what cost him his job. Period. Now, what does that mean for Northwestern? You know that those players can now enter the transfer portal and they can bounce.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think it more importantly, it'll probably opens up lawsuits from past players, and
Sure.
you're going to see a bunch of people come out now. Then it's going to open up Pandora's box to these other universities that do this.
I was just going to say
fucking-
that. Yep.
And when they start to see that these old Northwestern players that are broke, never made it in the fucking NFL, need money, and they get money from this lawsuit. Next thing you know, Ohio State players, Cincinnati players, Texas, North Carolina, you're going to start seeing all these fucking schools come out because they all do it on some type of degree. They all do it.
Yeah. Mostly it's good natured. Mostly it's to kind of build team camaraderie.
Bryant, good to see you, fam. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you, bro.
Sometimes it can get out of hand. And if that got out of hand, like I said, I don't know what happened. But if that got out of hand, then yeah, maybe Pat Fitzgerald needs to go. But
Look, here's the thing. I'm actually probably right there with you, Tony. I think there's going to be more. I think this is going to be this is prime off season. There's so much shit that's happening. And you know what? Northwestern was the tip of the spear. Let's see what other organizations come out and the accusations. There may be somebody may have video. They've been sitting on it for a couple of years. There may be a lot of folks coming out for some handouts. It's probably going to be very interesting for the NCAA. I'm curious because Northwestern isn't the only school, and in any other school that's trying to cover that shit up, my God, it's going to get nasty.
who is that coach?
Oh,
for
don't
Texas
just think it's going to be college. You think the pros don't do this stuff? How about the guy that they cut off the team, the rookie they cut that was making $60,000 while he was going through rookie mini camp? They cut him. You think he wasn't being hazed on some type of level? That
Was he
guy is going
gambling?
to come back. Who?
I don't. Who was making $60,000? What was he doing?
He's talking about like just some rando that's on the team, that's on the practice squad. And he's cut.
Was he gambling? I don't know. This is a fake guy I'm talking about.
Okay. I didn't know if listen. This is at the NFL level. At the NFL level, like, motherfucker, if you're harassing somebody, then you're not studying the playbook. There's no room for that shit. I'd like to believe that in the NFL, if you are being hazed or harassed on one of 32 said teams, then I don't know. I don't know who's doing it. Why are you doing it? Are you executing in the playbook? Do you know your job? Like, I feel like these guys, between workouts and training and recovery, like, do you really got time to fuck with people? Because if you got time to fuck with people and you're not winning Super Bowls or showing up in the NFC Championship, then what the fuck are you doing? Like, I don't know. But honestly, do you think that you're going to hear shit come out of the NFL? The NFL's not going to let that shit come out.
What about
The
that one
NCAA?
coach?
The NCAA, that's a whole different story.
What about
You
that
know?
one coach, Leach?
Mike Leach, he's dead.
Mike, yeah, he's dead, but when he was at Texas Tech,
Hold
there
on,
was-
Nick.
He got
Hold on.
fired.
Hold your thought. I want to give a shout out to Bashar.
Okay.
Bash, good to see you, fam. Listen, Bashar has shouted out this channel every single episode that he does. Every show he does, he gives us some love, even when we aren't even here to put on a show. Bash is still promoting our show. So anybody that's a 49er fan that isn't already following and subscribed to 49er Minded on YouTube, you're not doing yourself any favors. Bashar is one of the brothers of this podcast. He's become a great friend of mine. Much love to you, Bash. We love you from the locker room rant, bro. All right, Nick, go ahead.
So Mike Leach got fired for a similar reason. A kid made an accusation, said that he made him sit in like some type of electrical shed for like 2 hours, basically tried to charge him with kidnapping. They fired Mike Leach, and it turns out none of that happened. Like the kid did go sit in an electrical box, but it wasn't because Mike Leach told him to. Like Mike Leach got charged with hazing. Turns out it was all bullshit. The rest of the team corroborated Mike Leach. They said Mike Leach didn't do any of that stuff. Still got fired from Texas Tech. Ended up getting a job elsewhere. But like I said, in this day and age, and that was like years ago. That was like 10, 12 years ago when that happened. We're living in a whole different time now.
That's my point.
Shit.
That's my point. Like,
Well, I think
you know what? Focus on your craft. Focus on your craft. Stop fucking with people. Stop fucking with people. Focus on your craft. Develop yourself and try to make it in the NFL. Quit fucking with people. People have a fucked up life as it is. Leave everybody the fuck alone.
And
how about that?
But if they're fucking with people, that's a different story.
How about this story?
What the fuck do you think it is?
If
I don't understand.
If some guy snaps you with his towel in the shower, I got news for you. That's fine.
I got news for you, Nick. No one's snapping anybody's ass cheeks with a towel.
Psychologically
okay?
scarred because some big offensive lineman snapped your ass with a towel, then you're in the wrong sport.
What the fuck is the matter with you, bro? Come on. Do you honestly think that that's what this is about?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Again. Do you need a definition of what hazing is? Do you need that spelled out?
The line is blurred nowadays.
Do you remember when Ace Ventura snapped that guy with the towel just so he'd punch him so he could count how many diamonds was in the ring? I wish we could find that clip right now. I love that.
Oh, we could totally.
So here's another story that's going around. Have you guys heard about this Bob Huggins story? He was first of all, a few months back, he had some slurs he was using on a Cincinnati radio station. I think they were gay slurs, calling people terrible names that were gay slurs. So he got in a lot of trouble for that. A few week suspension or something, and then like a couple weeks later, he gets a DUI. Okay, so he resigns from being the basketball coach at West Virginia University. Okay, so they get rid of him. You know, he's gone. They name someone the interim head coach, and then all of a sudden, he comes back and says, well, I didn't really resign. That email didn't come from me. It came from his wife's email. So what he's trying to do now is he's trying to say he never resigned, so they're forced to fire him so he could get his money that's owed to him.
Genius.
I do remember that. I
thought you were going to say so he's trying to get his job back.
No, doesn't want anything to do with his job.
He's done with that.
But he's saying, I never quit. They're like, we got an email from you, your resignation email. He was like, well, did it come from my email? And they're like, no, it came from your wife. He's like, well, that's not me. I didn't resign. I need my money.
He's totally right.
He is, but it's fucking ridiculous.
Think about it. I mean, think about it. You can't think about it. That's not enough. First of all, it's not an official resignation. You can't resign from your job. Do you have a work email, Tony?
Yeah.
you can't resign from your job at your normal email. like if you're gonna write an email for a resignation, you're gonna resign from your work email.
It's hilarious because
Definitely, you
like,
can't resign from your wife.
everyone's like, how can the West Virginia University be so stupid to accept this resignation from his wife?
I mean, but here's the thing: they were going to fire him anyways.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to separate
I don't think they
themselves
were.
from him as fast as possible. I think it was just an easy out for them. Whether it was an official resignation or not, that's entirely different. But they probably just wanted to distance themselves from the whole fucking thing.
I think what happened was he resigned thinking he was still going to get paid. And then he resigned. And they were like, no, fuck you. We're not paying you. And then that's when he hit him with, well, that I didn't resign. My wife resigned.
And you know what? I could see his wife being like, listen, he's been doing this a long time. I don't want this shit anymore. He's starting to get a little old. He's gonna start saying,
oh, stop it.
Look, that makes no sense. At the end of the day, you know what? She saw an opportunity, or he did that.
But he's not going to resign from his wife's email thinking that he's...
Nick, he was trying to come out on top. He most certainly would make that move. He would log into his wife's email, resign via email from her account, and then come back and say, look, I didn't resign.
Listen, if West Virginia allowed that to happen, if that was Bob Huggins' actual plan and West Virginia let that happen, like, West Virginia's dumb, because they would probably they would normally just send a reply being like, okay, Bob, sad to see you go. Can you please send an official resignation from your email, not your wife's?
Probably, yeah. Either way, it's still
West
fucked
Virginia
up.
University Athletics Department.
Sincerely, stop fucking with us, Bob.
Listen,
Come on,
speaking of this and that, listen, Kamara pled no contest today or yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know when it was. Regardless,
Today.
do either of you think that you're going to see him play this season?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
and the reason for it is because he didn't beat the shit out of a female. He beat the shit out of a man.
Yeah.
Attacked. You're allowed to do that, I guess.
You ruthlessly attacked another man, blindsided him, and broke his orbital socket.
Okay.
You're allowed to do that, I guess.
So
Everything
You
else,
got community service. He's got community service, and he's got to pay $105,000 in $105,000 in medical bills, and he's cleared to go.
But
Now, if
that
he would have
is-
done this,
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
if he would have done this to a female or with his wanker out, suspended from the league.
Yeah, should
Done.
have been. Should
Done.
you should be. My point is this.
The
My point is
difference
this.
between suspended
That's
from
what
the league-
that's the punishment that he's facing via court. But I'm talking about the league. The league now has their own way of dealing with this.
Yeah, we'll see what the league does.
So do you think that the league comes down on him? That's what I'm asking you. Do you
No.
think the league comes down on him?
No, they would have already done it.
Yeah. Is there video of it? I'm with Cool Nick.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
I'm
video.
sure.
Of it.
Yeah, there's video of
it's-
everything.
It's a ruthless blindside.
Attack.
The guy didn't even have a chance to defend himself. Ruthless beating.
Tony, you got a question here from Izzy. Are you more hopeful for this season that you are the favorite behind the Chiefs, Bengals, Jets, and others? Are you more hopeful?
We're behind the Jets. I don't think so, Izzy. I don't think our odds are worse than the Jets. No, I'm not more hopeful. I think my team is not like yours, Izzy. My team is not like yours. Your team wins, makes it to Super Bowls, has won Super Bowls, and my team just doesn't have that pedigree. And I don't see us getting there this year. I don't think there was enough moves made on the offseason to get there.
They really did nothing.
They just said we're cool. They got that running back from the Patriots. Who's the dickhead? That was always yeah. Like, what are you doing with him? What are you gonna do with? What are you doing with him?
McDermott,
You know what? Go get Dalvin
giving
Cook.
me Stefanski vibes.
Go get Dalvin Cook. You got his brother on the team. Go get him. He could show his brother how to play running back at a high level. Go get his brother. Go get his brother. No. We're not gonna do that. We're just gonna run it down the fucking throat with Josh Allen. And then when the weather gets bad and we play the Chiefs at Arrowhead in January, we'll try throwing the ball 100 times and won't be able to run with Josh Allen because he'll be injured and dinged up by then. So, I mean, it just is what it is. It is what it is. We're losers, Izzy. We're a bunch of losers. I'm a fan of losers.
I'm wondering
There
what
is
they
video
do with that tight end they drafted. With
You know what?
They're going to use him to block. Hopefully, they're going to use him for blocking and establish a fucking run game.
I think the Jets are just
awfully high price to pay for a blocking tight end.
Not if he's good.
This whole Jets thing. I think people just need to pump the brakes. I don't why. They were good last year. They were a good team. They bring in Aaron Rodgers. I think they'll still be the same caliber team.
Nah, they're going to be good. They're going to be good. As much as it pains me to say it, because I'm not a big Rodgers fan, he's still a great quarterback, and he can make every fucking throw. He's got a lot of receivers. That's actually a very good team. And they are probably one veteran quarterback away from making a difference. So the Jets, I'm taking them this season as one of my dark horse teams anyway.
They don't have that better of weapons than he had last year at Green Bay. I mean, shit, he brought two of them with him.
I don't know what they got. I don't know why they're stuck to him like fucking Velcro anyway. But they always go everywhere. It's weird, dude. It doesn't matter. I still think that the Jets have far better receivers than they had in Green Bay. And I'll tell you why. They got Garrett Wilson, first and foremost, who's probably going to be amazing with him. Okay. And I need to see the roster because I don't know anybody else.
Yeah, but Garrett Wilson, that's not your typical Rodgers guy. Like, I guess you could say he kind of fits like a Randall Cobb type role, but Rodgers likes those tall, fast downfield guys.
Niners Sickness podcast. What's going on, buddy?
Beto, what's up, Beto? Good to see you, fam. Thanks for stopping out, bro, and supporting the channel, my man. Beto is a Niner fan who has his own channel called the Niner Sickness Podcast. He also does a show with Mariah and Ryan from No Border Sports. Beto's a good dude, fam, and we got to get him on the show. We definitely got to get him on the show. Listen, I'll read you out the roster. Garrett Wilson, Malik Taylor, Deontay Spencer, Denzel Mims, TJ Luther, and Alan Lazard. Mecole Hardman Jr., Corey Davis, Randall Cobb. So,
yeah, I mean, okay.
They got Uzuma, the tight end.
I mean, like last year he had Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs.
But Romeo Dobbs, and it was hurt, and I think that the other dude got hurt too at some point. My point is that I think that this is a young, established roster, and I think that they believe that he can distribute the ball pretty evenly amongst all those guys, and they probably can. Mims is fast as fuck.
Yeah, but Rodgers doesn't like playing with rookies.
We
I
got
don't
Big
care.
Doug R. What's up, Big Doug? Like, nice to see you, buddy. Balling it up. We got balling it up out here. What's not to like about Rogers? We'll find
What's
out.
up,
Balling it
Steve-O?
up.
What's up, Big Doug R? Big Doug R in the house. He hasn't seen a show from us in a minute. I wonder what he was thinking while we were on our sabbatical.
He was probably thinking, good. I don't have to deal with those
I gotta do this
assholes.
shit. No, I don't gotta do this shit every Tuesday.
No, did you guys see the thing I sent you? The Kingdom podcast had
That was
done.
awesome.
Bo did a mashup of all of our shit, and he did it really good. He actually made us look better. Actually, he really did. He made us look better.
I wish we could figure out how to do mashups, huh?
We are just not capable. Nick can barely walk.
Yeah.
This
He
is
can't
like
even
longer
tie his
than we
shoes.
thought we were gonna go though.
Oh, really? Like when you called me earlier and you're like, hey, we're just gonna do a quick show tonight. You know, John's got some stuff going on.
I was this is what the man said over here. He said he had some stuff that he had to get done tonight.
It's good to have the fellas back on the podcast with me, guys, because conversation amongst the three of us is usually fun. It goes everywhere. We barely stay. I mean, if we had Adderall, we might stay on topic. We might stay on topic. I love how organic our conversations are. That's why we can get away with it. We can ramble on and yammer like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
We love
Anyone
you
have
too,
a good-
Big Doug.
Anyone have a good would you rather?
You know,
cold breath.
Anthony, what's up, fam? We need to get back into our would you rathers because, you know, our buddy over there across the pond, Paul Hope, he has taken the would you rathers to another level, and he and Nick Ludlum over there, two great content creators on the across the pond there in the UK. They're pretty dope, and their would you rathers are good. We really need to bring it back. Should we?
We'll bring it back next.
Are you telling me that he stole our idea?
No, he didn't steal it. He asked. He borrowed it. It's
I don't know.
okay.
It sounds like he stole our shit. Is
He
this
didn't
like
steal our shit.
this is grounds for like war? Like, does he know who he's fucking with? Like, we're the United States. Does he realize this? No, I even wore this. I even wore my Chelsea shirt for him tonight. This
Dude,
is
he's sleeping
bullshit.
right now.
He'll wake up and watch, and when he does, he'll see my Chelsea shirt, and he'll hear that he stole our shit, and there's gonna be war. His would you rathers are phenomenal. Thanks, Izzy. Boy, thank you. Well, give me an example of one real quick, John.
It was all Niner related. It's not going to be fun for you. It's not fun. They were like, would you rather
Chiefs
Patrick
Kingdom
Willis?
Live. Chiefs Kingdom Live's gonna do horse races tomorrow, Nick said.
We actually should do a Tony, what do we have to give away? What do you have
I don't
over
have
there?
shit.
Anything?
I don't have anything left.
Nick,
This
what do
kid,
you have?
What do you mean? What do I have?
What do you have to give away?
Those
you got that Miles
stupid
Garrett card.
pennants. Those stupid
Look.
pennants.
Since we've been off the air, I got a PSA graded Donovan Mitchell, a PSA 10 right here. Pretty dope card, right?
Yeah.
I got a really nice Brandon Ayuk.
Uh-oh.
See that one? I got Devonta Smith. This one. This is a PSA 10. I got a really nice Debo. I got some Trey Lance, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson. I got some good ones. Brandon Ayuk. We should schedule a giveaway, a horse race, boats. I don't know. There's all kinds of races now. We should get back tonight at the races,
Boats?
guys.
Boats and hoes.
I don't know.
No
should-
borders sports. No borders sports. What's going on?
That's Ryan. What's up, Ryan? Good to see you, fam. Thanks for joining us.
We'll probably have a night at the races before the season starts.
I'm ready to do one next week, bro. Speak for yourself. I might
Next
just
week I'm
come
going
on
to be
here
at
and
the
do a
hospital.
giveaway without you.
Next week I'll be at the hospital having a second child. Maybe I should do like a live.
Get it for a closer look. Get it for a closer look, chat.
Chat. You see the head, chat. Chat. Head's coming out, chat.
Doc, can you move a little bit? I'm trying to get a good view here.
I would
Doc,
pass the fuck
Doc,
out.
Scott.
I would probably black out.
Doc, move to the side. Scott from Cheese Kingdom Live can't see.
Scott, give the kid away. Dude, we're going to do a giveaway. We're going to give away Tony's unborn child.
Oh my god, this is too much. This is too
Oh,
much.
shit.
That's
Yes,
how you
Izzy,
do
I
it.
had a blast.
How
I
you,
really
how you
did.
think how you think Leo's gonna take this new one?
Not well, buddy. It's not gonna be good. Yeah, baby's gonna come out looking like JT Campbell. You ain't shit. We should so what are there any games planned? Are we going to any 49ers Steelers,
Oh, yeah.
49ers Browns?
Yeah,
What's the deal?
Apparently,
I mean-
the 49ers have this traveling band that goes that goes all over to away games, and we're gonna meet them out at probably Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Yeah, we want to go to McFadden's and meet up with the 49ers Rush crew. They put on a hell of a program, man. A fun show, a great they do a night before at a big bar. They get a bunch of people in there. They have a ton of fun, bunch of giveaways. And then they do I think they do a tailgate day of. They have a blast, and I think we should take part. I definitely think we should do it. Tony, you should get down here. You and the wife and the kids are going to be due for a homecoming.
Send those kids
And I think that would be a
over.
good night for you. That would be like your first real getaway after the newborn. And like, I think Christina will totally be cool with it. I think she'll be like, yeah,
Where's-
Tony, go.
What's the date?
Browns is week 6. I want to say isn't 49ers Steelers?
That's week 1. Week 1 is Steelers, but the
Yeah.
date, he needs the date.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't need the date. It's week 1. I'll figure it out. It's like the 9th, September 9th or 11th, something in there.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
let's
play
do it.
September 10th, Steelers September 10th, and the Browns on October 15th. That one is probably going to be the one that really it's overdue. That matchup is well overdue.
That's Leo's birthday, so I won't be able to attend that one. But I'd be down for that. Steelers week 1.
Week 1.
We should probably do that. Nick, where you get that smug look on your face?
Oh, because he wanted you.
That's why.
He wanted you
That's
here.
why
for the
saying
Cleveland
I
game.
approve. I approve of this message.
You'd
wanted
be
you
weird. You'd be weird for some reason. Oh, guess what else we're going to be doing, John? The locker room rant is going to be. We're going to be doing some night at the races for some tickets. We're going to be getting tickets through an organization that me and Nick have a hookup on. It's sports tickets. Could be football, college, pro, baseball tickets. So we'll get tickets and we'll be giving away some tickets as well. So more to come on that. We need to iron out the kinks and find out exactly how we're going to do it, because I know most of our watchers are from the Bay Area. So I don't know if we need 49ers tickets in San Francisco. I don't know how we're going to do that, because it's not really fair to like JT Campbell if he wins 49ers tickets. But we'll see how to do that, and we'll get back to them. Maybe we could just go ahead.
We could theoretically, if like JT Campbell wins and wants to go to a Panthers game, we could get Panthers tickets.
No, because that site doesn't always have tickets to each game.
Oh.
So
we have
there
to
you
try
go.
to try to acquire the tickets that we can there, Nick.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
No,
Anyway.
I mean, this season is going to be fun in the locker room, right, fellas? I think that we're going to have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun regardless, but I think this season, for some reason, I think the channel is due for some fun and a lot of growth. And we appreciate it if any of you guys have friends and want some content, tell them to check us out. I think they'll enjoy us. We have a lot of fun. We don't really pride ourselves in any of the crazy shit. Just have a lot of fun.
Niners sickness. I am a Bills fan. But I'm on the fence, buddy. I'm on the fence. I could really be switched over to these 49ers. I've been following them a lot closer than the Bills lately. Damn, Izzy. Damn. That's pretty good, Izzy. How about my college team, Izzy? Hit him with my college team too.
Tony.
Yeah, listen, Steve-O, we want to be at 500 by week 1. I'd love to. I'd love to be. I feel like we could hit 500. I think we could.
That's
Help
everyone
us,
we know, guys.
man.
We're tapped out. If we get to 500, we're tapped out. It's like literally that's all we're getting.
I don't know if we can handle more than 500.
If you go and look at our stats, it breaks down like what states watch you the most, and obviously California, and then it also breaks down like countries where you have views. And I gotta tell you, I can't like I keep thinking like, how the hell is someone from these countries watching these three goofy bastards try to talk about like we know anything about sports whatsoever?
That guy's probably like tonight. He's probably like, yes, finally. I thought they were gonna do another one. The rant is back on, baby.
Some old like some old 50-year-old dude just watching us with his Jergens hand lotion next to him.
Yeah, that's true, Izzy. We do. Joel is a huge supporter. He's in Guam. That's what's really cool. We've got the attention of Paul, our man over there at the 49er. What is it? The 49er Faithful Kingdom. What is it? 49er Faithful Kingdom or 49er Kingdom Faithful? Either way. Let me do a shout out real quick, guys, to all the channels that support us. We want to do right by you and support you guys and give you all your shout outs. First and foremost, our friends over at the Chiefs Kingdom Live. We love you guys over there, Bo, Scott, and Nick. Thank you for always shouting out the channel and being awesome supporters. You guys have really supported us for quite some time now, and we appreciate it. Beto over there at the Niners Sickness Podcast, 49er fan, 49er channel. Beto also likes to talk the rest of the league as well. He's not shy. I'd love to give Mariah and TL a shout out over there at the 49er Faithful Lee channel. They're growing their channel very quickly. They're doing a great job. We love you guys over there. Who else do we have in here? We have Ryan over at No Border Sports, covers all the league. He's also a 49er fan. We got to give our shout out to No Border Sports. Anybody else in here?
Sure.
Did we miss anyone?
Bashar.
Oh yeah, Bash got his shout out. 49er minded. You guys check out Bash. Good friend of the channel and an even better person in real life.
Is he still doing? Is he still doing her thing? I haven't seen her on there.
I have not. I think Izzy took a step back. I think she's just taking care of family and taking care of herself.
What about me? Let's hear it.
Shit.
Izzy, put yours in.
Plug it in, fam. Is that Rising to the Top? Is that what it's called? It's called.
Girl is on fire.
That's probably the best sound you did. Right.
There's a mosquito that's probably going to take me out.
Yeah, she hasn't done it in a while. I haven't seen her on there. I haven't seen her on there like in months. What's going on with that, Izzy? Shout it out real quick in the chat.
If I left anyone out, I apologize. But regardless, I just it's Driving to the Top. I knew it. They talked some baseball over there. I'd like to.
I would love to get. Remember, I talked to you guys about getting like a channel, like not our own channel, but like a group channel where everyone kind of owned like one day a week. Like say,
yeah, that's exactly what Beto does over there at Niner Sickness. They every week they go live. They host a show on their platform. Then next week Bashar hosts it on his platform. Then the next week Mariah, Ryan, and they just switch it on and off. It's actually a really cool system. It's actually pretty cool. We actually belong to that other one. What is it called now? I forget. I totally forget. What is it? Something sports.
Yeah, but if we had say we had something like called Sloppy Second Sports, and then you had bunch of you had a bunch of different shows on the network, like Chiefs Kingdom Live every Wednesday, Locker Room Rant every Tuesday. We can come up with a show. I was texting you guys about a UFC show. Listen, UFC is taking off. It's took off. And I don't think there's a lot.
It has taken off.
I don't think there is a lot of content providers when it comes to UFC, strictly UFC. If we kind of got our shit together and started to really dissect UFC, and I'll tell you who's a genius with UFC is Corey, our friend Corey. That dude knows everybody. He knows everybody. It's wild. I'll text him for betting tips. Although he fucked me this weekend on that Hooker, Dan Hooker. Mm-hmm. Did you watch that fight? The Hooker fight?
I think we
we
did. That he fought what was his name?
Turner or something like that.
Turner, that's right. Yeah,
and he was
actually.
He was like, Turner is amazing. You better bet him. And I fucking Hooker won.
Hooker kind of whipped his ass.
Balling it up like Sloppy Second Sports. Now we have to call it Sloppy Second Sports. Yeah, but I think wouldn't that be sweet to have like, and we could get people. We could get people like say Izzy wants a 2:00 spot on a Monday. Mariah wants to shoot the shit on a Friday with TL, and just have like everybody involved. I feel like we'd get like a shitload of subs that way. All the subs would kind of combined, and we'd have like a good thing. I don't know. Just me.
We need to try and we'll talk it over and figure it out, dude. I mean, if it's something that anyone's interested in, they'll let us know, and we got to push it. We also need to push this. We need to push our giveaways. I got a stack of shit over here. We got to give away.
Yeah, Izzy, you need your own show. You need your own show, You need to get a damn. You need all this the effects, and you need your own show, Izzy, because I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people, and all of them know sports. Ain't nobody knows sports like Izzy knows sports. This fucking girl knows everything. You need to have your own damn show. That's for sure. Not with people and such and such productions. You need to have your own shit. Yeah. Anyone else have anything? John, are you you're ending it and all that, right?
Yeah, I'll take us home, bro. All right, fam. So we came back and we had a great night. Thank you everyone for stopping out and supporting the channel tonight. Scott, Nick, Izzy, Bebop, Ryan, Beto, Steve-O, Anthony, JT, who else did I miss? Anybody else that I missed? Bryant, I appreciate you, fam. Bash,
B-Dubs.
B-Dubs, Big Doug, and Mariah. We appreciate you guys so much. If it wasn't for you, we would not be doing this. Listen, guys, I'll see you next week. Later.
Peace.
Hold on. I wasn't ready. Later, fam.